We go ahead and call the meeting to order. And let's do a quick introductions. Emily, could you help us with online, please? We'll start. I'm John Schaefer, Umatilla County Commissioner. With me is Jerry Simpson with the Port of Umatilla.
Yeah, thank you, John. I'll go to JD.
This is JD, CTYR.
And Jeff.
Jeff Winholtz, Morrow County.
And try to see if I see any more board members, but Elizabeth.
Elizabeth Howard, attorney at Schwabe, and with me today also is Jean Bach, also an attorney at Schwabe, and we represent CDA.
Perfect. And then Barrett
Thorson with the East Oregonian.
and Aaron Palmquist.
Aaron Palmquist, City Manager of Oregon.
Doug Olson.
Doug Olson, County Council.
Nick Warner, Deputy County Council.
Erica Morton.
Erica Morton, Portomoro.
And Fred Ziari.
Yeah, Fred Ziari, CDA.
Justin Nelson.
Justin Nelson, Morrow County District Attorney.
Sloan. Sorry.
Eric Olson, KOHU, KQFM, News and Sports Director.
Thanks, Eric. Sorry, I butchered that. And Umatilla County, Portomore, I guess that's John. And then there's just a couple phone numbers. So,
This is Michelle Lanigan, also.
Thank you, Michelle.
And I'm a private citizen, and I'm also calling in on my phone because I'm going to have to step away from my computer, but I'm the 7092 number.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Sorry I missed you. I think that's everybody.
Hey, Emily, this is Josh Burns with Umatilla Electric, also calling in from myself.
Okay. Oh, and David Sykes is entering the waiting room. Sorry, John, everybody's entering at the same time.
I saw that. Thank you. I had no worries on that. So, okay. And I don't know if the Port of Morrow is able to join yet because I think they're still in a meeting that was supposed to end at 2, but I haven't seen either Lisa or Joel yet.
And they just ended. I haven't seen them hop in yet.
Yeah, it looks like somebody put that in a chat. So. Okay, well, while we're waiting on them, let's see if maybe the public comment period, 3 minutes per person. Does anybody want to speak now on something that's not on the agenda?
Okay. Portomoro is here, I think.
Portomoro is here. Is that Lisa or Joel or both, or do you know?
Can you hear us, Lisa? I can see Kelly's with her. A couple other people.
They could use sign language.
Can you guys hear us? Hey, we can hear. Well, I see Lisa there, so.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Your timing is impeccable. So. All right, at this point, the next on the agenda is the Umatilla County amended motion. I'm going to make a motion and I'm just going to read it verbatim. And it's the one that was attached to the agenda. And it's also what was, we had that in the meeting the other day as well. So let me just see. So I move pursuant to section 2 of the written mutual release and settlement agreement dated January 27th, 2026 referred to as settlement agreement, the County of Umatilla moves the Columbia Development Authority, CDA board to amend its board motions dated March 26th and July 23rd, 2024 as follows. To Cleaverland LLC, Tract C2 to be distributed in accordance with the CDA's binding lease option to purchase agreement with Cleaverland LLC. To CTUIR, Tract I, 4,019.1 acres, including that portion in Morrow County, previously conveyed to the CTUIR by a real estate contract dated May 22nd, 2024, and Tract F, as in Frank. To the Port of Umatilla, Tract G2, H, and all of the land in both Tract G and the CDA industrial wildlife habitat that is south of a line that is drawn along the southern boundary of the Umatilla County recharge zone, extended west to the boundary of the yellow colored section and east to the boundary of the orange colored section, i.e. the I-82 freeway, as shown on the map attached Exhibit A and incorporated by reference into this motion. To Umatilla County, the Umatilla County recharge site and all of Tract G and the CDA industrial wildlife habitat that lies to the north of the line that is drawn along the southern boundary of the Umatilla County recharge zone, extended west to the boundary of the yellow colored section and east to the boundary of the orange colored section, i.e. the I-82 freeway, as shown on Exhibit A. To the Port of Morrow, Tract A, B, C as in Charles, and E as in Edward. And if and when CDA obtains title to D and D2, those as well, or otherwise as agreed between Port of Morrow and Morrow County. This motion supersedes and wholly replaces the March 26th and July 23, 2024 CDA board motions pursuant to Section 6 of the settlement agreement. If approved by the CDA board, this motion may not be amended or modified in the future without unanimous consent of all members of the CDA board. I think you're going to second.
I'll second that. Jerry Simpson, Umatilla Port.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Other than a big woohoo. So, okay, calling for the motion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Since it's,
Congratulations, everybody.
yeah, since that's such an important motion, can we actually do a roll call?
Yes, let's do.
It's a good idea.
I agree. Okay, do you want to go ahead and do the roll for us, please?
Yeah, John,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Lisa, are you Port of Morrow today?
Yes, I am, and the vote's yes.
Okay, and JD
Yes.
and Jeff.
Yes.
I think that's it.
We're shaking hands in here, by the way. Oh, that feels amazing. So, okay, next up on the agenda. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's kind of related to that. Can I ask a question? How soon before Umatilla County is going to get the Liz Pendens removed?
As soon as this meeting is over with, we're going to be reaching out to our attorneys and they're going to start unwinding all of that. So,
Thank you.
I'm thinking fairly soon.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Just want to
thank
make
you.
sure we're moving forward as fast as we can.
I think from here on out, it's going to be moving a lot faster. So,
Good to hear.
yeah, for sure. Okay, next item is the EIN and BIN. And Emily, did you have something on that you wanted to talk about? I'm trying to
And
find
just
my email.
more of an update. I received the BIN application from Eileen at the Port of Morrow. She's been helping me, and I just sent over what I filled out to Elizabeth for her review, and I hope to get it sent out today.
Okay, and just for the record, the EIN and BIN, the CDA needs that for payroll purposes, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So we don't need to take any action on that.
And Elizabeth, did you have anything else? I don't think so.
No, I think we just wanted to make sure everybody was in the loop about what was being done. And I have reviewed that, Emily. I have one other person taking a quick look, and we'll hope to get back to you and John on that today.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Next up is office lease. Currently, we're paying, I think, in the neighborhood of $36,000 a year for office space to lease from the Port of Morrow. And I don't see a need for that office space right now. I don't know what everybody else's thoughts are, but there's really nobody working out of that office. Emily's working remotely, so can we terminate that lease, or what do we need to do to terminate the lease?
You know, I've already picked out the carpet for replacement to get it moving to another tenant, John. Absolutely. No, we're happy to give the space up.
Okay, well, again, we appreciate the use of that space for sure. So, Elizabeth, do we need a motion on that?
I think that would be good. We also need to figure out a mailing address and those sorts of things, which I have an inquiry in on that to someone in my office about what exactly we're going to need. But I don't think that should hold us up from moving forward with terminating the lease. So,
Okay, and we can change that mailing address once we have the.
yes, we just need to, I think we need to at least have a PO box, which you do right now. And then I just need to figure out if we need to have a physical address as well.
Okay. What is that PO box number, Emily? Do you know it off the top of your head?
294. It's in Hermiston.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so with that, I would entertain a motion to terminate the office lease from the Port of Morrow.
So moved.
I will second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Michelle, I see you have a hand up. Did you have a question on that?
Comment, there's a lot of documents in there. I don't know if they're still there, but going back to when it was the LRA that should be retained someplace.
We will not get rid of them until someone picks them up.
Well, I mean, they belong to the CDA. They're not, there are documents that are prepared by or for the CDA.
That's a good point, and we'll work out all those details. But thank you for flagging that, Michelle, for sure.
And there are also ones that may need to be available to public. So just an FYI.
Yep, no, I appreciate it. So, okay, and bank account signers, did we have the right people on that now, or do we need to get a motion to get the right people on?
Yeah, so it looks like Greg is already no longer a signer, so we just need to have a motion to remove Kim Pusey as an account signer and add in Bob Blanc. I know there was mention on if alternates can be signers as well. I didn't know if you wanted to discuss that. But as of right now, Lisa Middlesdorf is the only alternate on the account.
Okay, and Elizabeth, is there a problem with having an alternate as a signer?
No, I think that should be fine. You just need to make sure you have at least two people who can sign checks. So you may not need to go there with all of the alternates, given how many board members you have.
Yeah. So at this point, all we need is a motion to remove Kim Pusey and to add Bob Blanc as signers onto the account. Is that correct?
Yep, onto the BEO bank account.
Onto the BEO bank account. Okay. Bank of Eastern Oregon.
Yep.
And I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Okay. Got a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Got a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. Chair, just quickly, and it doesn't need to be part of this, but I did want to note that I mentioned it on Tuesday that Kat Brigham, the new chair of the Board of Trustees, is our new alternate for the CDA. She doesn't need to be a signer, but I just want to make sure that's noted, and so we can update contact lists and stuff like that with her name.
Oh, very good.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for flagging that. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I guess I would like to say, as long as we're making changes, if we want to add all the alternates at this time, it would be good because I believe we have to all sign the bank documents again anyway. To remove or add new people.
I think you're gonna find the banks as the board members on.
So, Mr. Chair, would that be that'd be a change of the motion? So the motion should be approve all board members, well, removal of Greg Smith, removal of Kim Boozy, addition of Bob Blanc, and all alternates to the signatory for Bank of Eastern Oregon?
It sounds like that Greg Smith has already been removed at some point. So he's no longer on there. Am I understanding that correctly, Emily?
Yeah, I asked for confirmation from Bank of Eastern Oregon for who's currently on the account, and he is not.
Okay. All right. I'm comfortable with the motion as it is with just removing Kim and adding Bob. Unless, I mean, we can finish that motion and then if somebody wants to make a motion to add the alternates, we can do that. But right now we do have a motion on the table.
Okay.
So, okay. So with that, let me call for the vote on this motion. Is there all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
I,
Any opposed? Okay, so that motion carries. So regarding the question on the alternates, and I don't know if we need all the alternates, but if somebody wants to make that motion, we can have that discussion. Okay. All right, credit card policy. Or is that policy or just credit card? What was we already have a policy on credit card, correct?
Yeah, and this is a conversation I had with Lisa about,
do you want me to leave that up, Emily?
yeah.
Okay, we've talked about a credit card for the CDA. They have no way to upfront payments if they purchase something, if they go to the post office. There needs to be a credit card issued. I think we had a question about what bank that would be drawn on and whether they needed limits and who had access to the card. But it's really hard to function as a business without a credit card. And I would propose that we allow a credit card with some limit, $5,000, whatever you think is right. But enough that they can buy office supplies and do things they need to do to continue to run a business.
Is that a motion, Lisa?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we have a motion for a $5,000 limit on the CDA card. Is it just a blank? Anybody within the organ, like any of those signers can sign? Is that how that works, or what's the?
You know, we have a card here that is Port of Morrow General Fund that's not assigned to a specific person that probably would do it.
Okay.
And we do have a credit card policy that prescribes how that card can be used and reports and all of those sorts of things.
Okay. Does the policy spell out an amount, or does the motion? I think she said a $5,000 was the number I heard. Okay.
Right. I don't believe there's an amount in the policy. There's just more prescription around how it can be used and reporting on the use and those sorts of things.
Okay. So do you have a motion on the table for a $5,000 limit on a credit card? Is there a second to the motion?
This is Jeff. I will second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on that? Okay. And all in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. So for the hiring policy, Elizabeth, I'm going to lean on you a little bit here. Do we need to go into executive session to have that discussion, or can we do that in open discussion? What's your preference?
We can do that. We can discuss that in executive session if anybody would like to do that. The board does have an executive session document for the hiring policy. we will need to adopt the hiring policy before we make any decisions, and go into a further executive session about interim executive director. So we might have to do 2 executive sessions, John, but they shouldn't take too long, I don't think. And we could also talk about the position description, which is a draft executive director position description in the first executive session. Again, just both of those documents would need to, or at least the hiring policy document would need to be adopted before we could have an executive session to discuss an interim executive director position.
Okay. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and go into executive session now, and then we'll come back and then make any decisions that we need to make. So, and I can read go ahead.
Yeah, I think, so we would need to read, is actually the executive session.
Just remit.
It's just that whole paragraph 5 should be adequate to cover that.
Okay, I'll read that now. The CDA may hold an executive session meeting for the permissible reasons stated below under RS 192.660 sub 2. Representatives of the news media and designated staff and other persons shall be allowed to attend the executive session. All other members of the audience will be asked to leave the room, or the CDA board may adjourn to another meeting room. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on any of the deliberations during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. No decision will be made in this executive session. At the end of the executive session, we will return to open session and welcome the audience back into the room.
Okay, everybody should be back in. It looks like just an iPhone is still connecting, but that might be on their end.
Okay. Find my agenda. Again, I buried it. Okay. Hiring policy. Start there. Did somebody say they had a motion to be made? I think JD had a phone issue. He didn't have it in front of him.
Well, I wasn't great at taking notes. I got my comment, but I didn't get everybody else's. So,
You're not?
Okay, so
So do you want me to take a crack at it, John?
yeah,
yes, please.
that'd be great.
So I would move to adopt the Columbia Development Authority policy for appointment of interim executive director with discussions with the changes discussed in executive session to include under number 1, third line down in that paragraph, we're going to put a period after any period of time. So that would strike until the board can hire a permanent executive director. So then we move to paragraph 2, number 2 there. And in the last sentence, it starts with executive director position will be, and we are going to strike an undefined period and replace that with a time defined by the board. And did I miss anything else?
The first sentence of paragraph 2, I think we were gonna, you guys had talked about stopping after the word temporary.
Correct. So the until the board hires a new executive director or hires that rest of that sentence, is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'd strike until the board hires a new executive director or hires an interim. So we're going to strike all of that. Okay.
Right.
Anything else that we need to add into the motion? So that's my motion, John.
Got it. We have
I'll
a
sec-
motion. Do you have that written down, or somebody have that written down?
It's all recorded, so I can also double check.
Thank you. So we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it, JD.
Thank you. got a motion, second. Is there any further discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so that's the hiring policy. Do we need to see the position description? Elizabeth, did you want to tackle that now?
Yes.
Okay, and
I think we need a motion. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say if that email went out, I was just getting ready to go check my email was to the board. Oops, that's not gonna help me any.
I'll get that to you right now, John.
Don't see it yet.
I didn't get anything.
Did you say you sent it, Elizabeth?
Just now, yes. I think
Okay.
it
Oh, there it is. Got it.
probably lag. Apologies.
Okay. So the position description for the interim executive director for the Columbia Development Authority. I guess the first thing we probably ought to talk about is salary, target salary. Is that? Yeah. Okay. Oops. Okay. Any discussion on a salary portion of the executive or interim executive director?
Mr. Chair, this is JD, and I would our general policy, it's not established policy like the tribe, as a general guideline, is usually 90% of the position of the prior position holder or 110% of the person appointed, whichever is greater. It's a general guideline, just to kind of establish something. And I'm not beholden to that, but I usually it's just a general guideline for us to appoint to interim positions. And I don't know what those numbers are.
Okay, so you're saying 90% of what Greg was making, is that right?
Correct. And if a like so at CTYR, if we appoint a manager to be an interim director, it's either 90% of what that prior director made, or it's 110% of what that employee makes, whichever's greater. Because sometimes we have employees that make more than their director for various reasons.
Okay. And so I'm looking at a document. Was Greg making 129,679? Is that what Greg was making per year?
That seems
No.
number that rings
Not at
bell
the
to me, but I don't know for certain.
beginning.
Okay.
After it changed, it was way up there. 200 and something.
Okay, what was that, Jeff?
The 129 rings a bell with me, but I can't say for certain that's what it was. And what Jerry was talking about was the number that he put in the grant proposal to the federal government, which then the CDA board had asked him to revert back to the 129.
If it's helpful, I have the budgeted amount for the position. I don't know how much he was making exactly, but I know on the budget that we adopted.
Yeah.
132, 253.
That's right.
So that's the budgeted amount. Okay.
John, were you looking at this Excel sheet?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so that 129,679 at the bottom of there is the total cost per year of an employee that has a wage of 110,000 a year.
Oh, I got it. Okay. Thank you. That's very helpful.
Okay,
A weekly up there, 110, assumed on benefit halfway down the page. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Soon. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So John, would it be helpful to just share the numbers that we had Eileen run just to give us some ranges
Yeah, that
on?
would be great. I was trying to figure out if I could share mine, but I don't know if I can. Maybe I can. Or do you have it where you can share it easily enough, or do you want me to try doing it?
Well, I could share it verbally. I'm not sure I can share my screen.
Yeah, I tried to share it, but it's not letting me. It's just, oh wait, hold on, maybe. Yeah, I think I can.
Made you co-host just in case that helps.
Okay, so let me try. Oops. Hmm. Oh, there, that one. Is that sharing now?
yes.
Okay. So at what point, where do you want me to stop scrolling to, Elizabeth?
Well, maybe I can just explain this. So we asked Eileen so that you guys could have this discussion to give us a sense of what the Port of Morrow is or would pay under kind of the benefits that they're not the benefits, excuse me, but just if they were handling payroll. So right now, Emily, for her current position, the total cost per year for if the Port of Morrow is handling this is 52,997. And you can see there her cost per pay period, and that includes salary as well as all of the employer contributions and insurance. So right now she is waiving medical insurance, and then I know that there are benefits. The pension payments are in here too. So that just is to give you an idea of current salary. Then there was at some point in the past, there was talk about a $90,000 salary for this position and $110,000 for this position. I don't know how long in the past that was, but we just had Eileen also run the numbers so that the board could have a sense for what that cost would be. This is not precise. I think it might actually be a little bit more, because I think that CDA, if it's paying this, will end up having to pay a little bit more for workers' comp. But these two at the $90,000 salary and the $110,000 salary do not include any benefits other than like the benefits that are required by law. So no medical benefits, no retirement, other than making access available to Oregon Saves. So this is just, again, to kind of give you a sense so you have some numbers to have, yeah, just kind of a sense of that. I did some quick math, JD. 90% of the $132,000 salary is $118,800. But that would just be the salary. That doesn't include the employer costs. We did not have Eileen run the number. So, Lisa, weigh in if I missed anything or got anything wrong on that.
No, I will point out that previously we were paying for an amount into retirement for Emily that she was required to match. So the port was paying 9% and the employee was paying 6%. But it takes 1,000 hours in a year to vest for that year. And the port just passed a motion to extend payroll services until no later than March 16.
So that would give us a little bit of breathing room to set up an employment plan to get our EIN and BIN numbers for the CDA and to get any, what'd you say, Oregon Saves, I think was the retirement that
Mhm.
was mentioned. So that would give us a little bit of breathing room to get all that done. Okay,
Correct.
so, and at what rate? And I don't know if you're able to answer this question or not, but at what rate are you talking about paying Emily?
We don't have a rate yet. You're going to tell us what that rate is.
So that's why I'm just making sure that if we upped her current salary, that would be okay with the port.
Well, I will say that I just ran the top of that sheet that's based on 30 hours. I took that number at 30 hours as if it was 40, and that number is 70,662. So if she were full-time, the cost of that employee is 70,662.
Okay,
And it doesn't look like there's any retirement added in here now. I have it there.
God, wouldn't they get PERS? No, really?
okay, anybody have any questions on what we've heard so far? Okay. Does anybody want to make a motion on salary? Okay, so the 90% of Greg's salary would be 118,800. Is that correct? Elizabeth, is that what the number you had?
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I'm happy to make that motion. I just didn't know if there would need to be more discussion about whether that's an appropriate amount or appropriate percent. It's just a general guideline that we conduct at C2I
Sure.
that I do. So I'm happy to make that motion that the proposed salary would be the 118, what was that number?
800?
Yeah, 118,800. And do I need to add anything in there about benefits or benefits additions or anything as well? Or is it just the salary amount? And that's figured out separately.
I think we should be clear on this part, whether there are benefits or not. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's why I was worried about. I didn't jump in and make a motion immediately because I didn't know if we had enough discussion about what all that is entailed, so we can make a motion to do so. And so unless I missed something. So let me retract my start of my motion to make sure I'm clear.
Yeah.
Okay. So we do have to have at least Oregon Saves. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah. And it's really about making access available to that. Again, I think one of the things we would want to ask staff to do is just to get a little bit more information about that and what's required for that. And that should be able to be accomplished between now and March 16th. But yeah.
Okay.
But really, that's for the Oregon Saves. That's if we are the employer with the BIN and EIN. In the interim, up until March, we have until March 16th to get that figured out. And until then, it'll be the benefit packages that Lisa said you guys offer. So does that have to be included in the motion?
Yeah, this all gets super confusing.
Oh.
So I think, Lisa, what was the port's decision as far as benefits and carrying that forward until March 16th?
We didn't make a decision on that because we're just providing that service.
Okay.
So the CDA board is the employer and we were providing that payroll service. the numbers that Eileen sent out did not include that retirement number.
Okay, so would it be fair to say that the Port of Moro's expectation was that they would be continuing to provide payroll services but not benefits? Because
I think it's up to the CDA board as to what they want.
okay,
Because you're going to be reimbursing this.
Yeah. And Lisa, another question on that is what those benefits that were provided before that maybe just a continuation of what those benefits are. The 118,800 plus the benefits that employees have been currently receiving under the Port of Moro.
Okay.
Is that
yeah, the
intelligent?
challenge is that some of those benefits include the Port of Moro's retirement plan, which a CDA employee wouldn't have access to.
Okay.
And also that includes medical insurance, which you can see adds right now at for Emily's existing salary, that adds about $232. So per paycheck. And if the salary is bumping up almost double that, I'm imagining, I don't know what that does to the medical insurance. So JD, just know that if you're saying the equivalent benefits, that means medical insurance and retirement, and the employer investing in, 9% into the retirement account.
Okay. State that again.
I will make it clear that the medical insurance is a waiver. So it's 30% of the total premium because Emily waived that. She already had medical insurance. So that 30% was added into her wages.
And I also don't know because CDA hasn't gone out into the market to look about getting medical insurance or if we would or could. So that's just another thing to consider, JD.
Right.
Should probably be able to qualify for some insurance through SDAO. The Special District Association of Oregon.
And I don't want to speak for Emily, she's on the phone, but I think the question is, do you want to waive medical insurance and get some addition to your wage in lieu of that medical insurance payment?
Okay. So many notes. Sorry. So that's an option, is to just increase the amount, is it like a medical stipend? I don't know how the term is, to add to the salary that would go to a medical, for the, I guess.
So typically and maybe the HR folks on the call can correct me if I'm wrong, but typically what happens is if somebody has a spouse who has really good medical insurance, then they could waive the insurance from the employer. And in lieu of that benefit, they would get a financial equivalent of what the medical would be.
In order, yeah.
And for ours, that was $232 every pay period.
And is it biweekly or is it monthly?
Every 2 weeks.
That's $232 per pay period.
Yes.
470, 4664.
And it's a medical insurance waiver or voucher, or what's that?
Medical insurance is what we call it.
What? Say that again.
Medical insurance waiver.
Okay. So what I have right now is the salary for interim executive director at a rate of $818,800 per annum. And $230 per pay period as medical insurance waiver and access to Oregon Saves. Do we need that still in there? Or is that after March 16th?
I think you could say access to the Port of Morrow retirement
Okay.
until March 16th, and then after that, it would be Oregon Saves.
Is it
Okay.
16th or 15th? I thought I heard 15.
Oh.
No, 1/6.
It is
1/5
1/6.
was a Sunday, so we extended to the following Monday.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
And if we want to complicate the conversation, which we might as well just do that now. Emily is currently only 25% vested. So the money that has been paid in from the Port of Morrow into her account is not available to her because she hasn't stayed long enough to be vested. She would get 25% of that. So she is losing money out of her retirement account for not being able to continue employment.
Well, just to keep clear, I want to make sure, so I just want to make sure that I'm talking about the position specifically. And I think
Yeah.
any unique situations with Emily, that I think is a separate conversation. And I think it's a worthy conversation to have. I just want to make sure that I'm being explicit. That I'm just talking about the interim executive director role.
Well, really the executive director role.
Yeah. Okay, the executive director role. Okay, yeah. Okay. So what I have is, so on the question of the salary for the position, what I have is I'll make a motion to set the salary for the interim executive director at a rate of $118,800 per annum, plus $232 per pay period as medical insurance waiver, and access to Port of Morrow's retirement plan until March 16th, and then access into Oregon Saves.
You got a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I will second.
Thank you, Jeff. Got a motion, a second. Is there any further discussion on the salary portion? Okay, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 And any opposed? Okay. Motion carries. Now, Elizabeth, do we need to go into the duties of the job description, or do we just accept the job description plus the additions to the job description?
I think, so John, we also need to confirm that it's a full-time position.
Oh, thank you.
And then I think you could adopt the position with the addition of those duties. You could just read those out loud.
All right, so is there a motion to make this position full-time?
I would make that motion, John.
Okay, Jerry moved. Is there a second?
Wait, Jerry's not a voter.
I'm sorry?
Who made the motion?
Jerry Simpson. He's the alternate to Bob
Bob's
Blanc.
not here.
Bob's not here.
Oh, I'm so
Jerry's the
sorry, Jerry. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
alternate.
Just random
No.
motions from the public, you know.
Called one in.
So we do have a motion to make it full-time. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Got a motion, a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay. And the rest of it, if I've heard you correctly, Elizabeth, is that we have the description in front of the board members with the additions of the ability to read and comprehend documents, the ability to drive a vehicle, and the ability to work cooperatively with others.
And those are, yep.
Oh, was there anything else that we needed added? Maybe like, thought Lisa had a pretty good idea with, other duties assigned by the board. Is
It's
that,
already on the list. It's
Oh, it
already
is?
on there.
Number 14.
oh, I knew that I was
Yeah.
testing you, so you passed, okay. So the job description with those 3 additions to the essential job functions, is there a motion to approve that?
I will make that motion.
Thank you. Got a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, Jerry. Got a second from Jerry. Got a motion, a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
I,
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. So we have a job description. We have a policy to appoint an interim executive director. Do we need to appoint and do we appoint or do we, or is that, yes?
Yes.
So, Mr. Chair, I think that, is this a question we have to go back into executive session for this and then come back out?
Yes, you
Yes.
can.
Okay, let's go back into executive session. So do I need to read the thing again?
Mm-hmm.
You lawyers. Okay.
It's all about time.
The CDA may hold an executive session meeting for the permissible reasons stated below under ORS 192.660 sub 2. Representatives of the news media and designated staff and other persons shall be allowed to attend the executive session. All other members of the audience will be asked to leave the room, or the CDA board may adjourn into another meeting room. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on any of the deliberations during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. No decision will be made in this executive session. At the end of the executive session, we will return to open session and welcome the audience back into the room.
I think everybody's back on my end.
Hey, thank you. And I just now realized that Eric Olson changed his name, so we actually know it's actually Eric Olson. So. Okay, whoops. What I just did there. There we go. Okay, so to appoint an interim executive director, is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to appoint Emily Collins to the interim executive director position for a period of time not to exceed 6 months without additional action from the CDA board.
I will second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Congratulations, Emily.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you,
You're welcome.
Emily. Yeah, so. All right, anything for the good of the order?
Can we go up to other again? I was told in
Oh,
a
sorry.
break that we may not have a current credit card policy.
An
I
adopted
thought we did
one.
have a current credit card.
Adopted credit card policy?
Thought we did that a couple meetings ago, didn't we?
I don't think they ever did it.
I'm pretty sure we did, Elizabeth. Didn't we approve it?
I thought so too. I think it might have been 2 meetings ago. I don't know. We could double check the minutes.
Yeah, I can pull up meeting minutes real quick.
I want to say it was at the November meeting, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the first time, not even the first time today. Oh,
Let's give Emily a chance to look at that. And the other thing that we need to be concerned about is the $800,000 bill from Tapani.
So, this is JD. That's something I'm still bringing to my board. I talked to our finance director and it's something we still need to bring to the board, but our next meeting is not until the 9th of February. So it might be some time before I'd be able to get an answer. So I don't know if anybody else will be able to have an answer sooner than that.
And I will let you know that the port had that discussion at our meeting a few hours ago, and we approve that with the caveat that we get paid back immediately.
So just to clarify, the port's willing to cover the 800,000 and then get reimbursed immediately following?
Right.
Okay.
On this
Here.
drawdown
Oh.
only.
So, one caveat on this, we did take a look at the contract, and Emily reached out to ODOT. The invoices actually have to come from the CDA. So what that means is that the money will need to be put into the CDA's account. The CDA will need
Correct.
to pay it. Okay. Okay.
That's what we discussed.
Okay, perfect.
And in order to protect the port, I would like a motion that we would immediately repay the port on receipt.
You know, we would like a very simple little contract that says that, John.
Yeah, I'm just putting myself in your shoes and that's what I would want. So,
Okay,
I can draft that.
all right.
okay. Is there a motion for that?
I'd make a motion for the CDA and our council Elizabeth Howard to craft a contract to be executed by our chair to reimburse the Port of Morrow immediately upon receipt of grant fund drawdowns. I got way complicated there for a second, but it could probably be simpler than that.
Okay, we got a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion, a second. Is there any further discussion on the motion?
And maybe hypersensitive to conflicts and stuff, but is that going to be a problem when the actual chair is a Port of Morrow board member?
And they,
I see our attorney shaking her head in the negative.
Okay, I just know how ethics filing like to be filed in this area.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they were receiving a benefit from that, then there could be something that needs to be declared, but it doesn't sound to me like that's the proposal.
yeah, this is between agency and agency, individuals are involved in it.
Yeah, I agree. But I understand your reluctance, Commissioner. I totally do. So, Lisa, does that cover you? Do you need anything else further from us, or is that motion, will that suffice?
That will suffice.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
I,
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. And Emily, did you find an answer to Lisa's question about the credit card policy?
Yes, I have the minutes pulled up and it's let me read the motion real quick and then I'll go back up to what minutes it is. But Mr. Tuvey moved to approve the policy with the expectation of revisiting it with determination of the existence of an executive director, seconded by Mr. Peterson with additional requirement of adding a date to the policy. Motion carried. And that is specifically about the credit card policy. And that was in the December meeting minutes from December 16th.
Okay, so I was off.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do have a policy and it is in the minutes. Did that answer your question, Lisa?
can you share that screen so we can see that?
Yeah, let me just, I've got a bunch of tabs open. Let me open it back up. Okay, credit card policy, item 7A, credit card policy. And then here's the motion.
And you can make that really big so we can see it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, for some reason, every time I try to zoom in the, okay, sorry, a little clunky.
Okay.
And it sounds like we have the second condition. I barely remember saying this. My mind is so full. And it sounds, I mean, with the, I think in some ways it still stands. So we have an executive director, an interim executive director right now. So I think I feel comfortable with this. And then upon determination of the future, I think that we'll stress that then. So I feel good.
I feel good about that too, and we did add a date to the policy as the motion stated, Emily.
Yes, and as Joel has asked at the last meeting, Elizabeth and I we're working on putting together a compilation of all the current policies as they currently read, and so that should be on the next agenda.
Okay.
And just, could you scroll down just because all I see is a one no. Okay, there's the other S's. Okay, I'm comfortable. I just wanted to make sure that everybody saw those. So.
Are we good? I can stop sharing.
Yep, I think you can stop.
Thank you.
Anything else under other? Okay. Hearing and seeing none, I do want to just say congratulations and thank you to everybody for this meeting. I think getting this amended motion done today, I think that was huge. So congratulations to all. So
I'd echo that. This is the most productive meetings I've been in 2 years. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thank you. All right. With that, meeting adjourned.